Okay, hello. Another comparison video. So today, I recently just did my slider rotation battle. This is going to be my mechanical spinner collection slash ranking. My ranking is super subjective and this shit changes every day. And honestly, it's super hard to commit. You know, ADHD in all its glory. It's hard to decide. But I'm just gonna, you've probably seen all these, so this is a bit redundant. So I'm just keeping these like, honestly, just, you know, trying to think what videos I can make. But yeah, I'll just go through these quick. So since I'm already here, we'll start with the Hope spinner. So we have Hope EDC. I believe it's called Haze. So this is 1.0 and 2.0. So this is Zirc Infinity. I've mentioned many times, but this is essentially the best thing about the Hope spinners is that it takes barely any effort to get this, I'm going to use the term flaps or whatever, leaves, whatever, to pop open. It has a tiny bit of sound, probably not enough to hear on the camera. But first, this Zirc Infinity spinner looks so nice. It looks beautiful. Yeah, this thing kicks ass. The only thing you could say with a negative on this, I would say, is it's actually almost too light. Like, it's actually extremely light. Like, you almost have to, you barely notice it in your hand, to be honest. You notice the feedback, obviously, and stuff like that, but yeah, it's extremely light. That looks pretty awesome on camera, honestly. Yeah, not much to say with this. This is definitely one I would say, okay, don't get, not Zirc Infinity because it's too expensive, but if you're trying to get into mechanical spinners, this is a good start because it takes less, not skill, but precision with your spinning, because it's so easy to like open. Like, I can barely put any effort and it opens. Like I don't know if you look how slow I'm putting it and it's already open. Like, where the other ones you have to like rip, as they say. This one, you can see I have to put more effort, but it's hard. This one takes more effort and it doesn't spin very long, actually. It's one of the not flaws, but one of the things that people don't like about this one compared to, like, that will spin forever. This one doesn't have a long spin time just because of the way the flaps are designed. Like, obviously it's still good, don't get me wrong. Like, it's just not like mega long because some people are into that crazy long spin time. But yeah, it's gonna slow down soon, but yeah, that looks sick. You can see it's starting to shake. It's gonna close soon, but yeah, so one close now, two, and then it's gone. But yeah, this one is really good for popping and stopping. That sounds cringe, but this one has a really good ergonomics. Like, so you can see how they change the edges. This one, it doesn't even matter because it's so easy to spin. But this one, I don't know. There's days where I like this one better, honestly. But then I come back to that more. But this thing has such a satisfying pop. And yeah, it's just, it has a more satisfying stop and start than that. But that spins better, if that makes sense. But yeah, Dama also looks amazing. But yeah, I think I would have to choose that in the end. And because this one's a bit harder to get going too, so I have to be more precise and more power. So I know if I sat and used this for like hours, I would start to, my fingers would start to hurt just from like the friction. And I mean, like, it would take a while for that to happen, to be honest. But compared to that, where that wouldn't happen. But yeah, I honestly, I'm coming down more hard on this, but this is still amazing. I can't recommend the Hope spinners enough. They're a bit pricey for sure. But nothing else like it. Yeah, they're sick. This is also from Hope EDC, but this is not a mechanical spinner. This thing's amazing also, so just check that out too. They don't make that much. So next, I'll go TQ EDC. So here I have a few. A lot of the mechanical spinners I have are the same brands, the same few brands. I actually, looking at this now, I thought I had more than this. And that's not even a good thing. I just know I have a lot of spinners, so. But yeah, anyways. So this is TQ EDC. I don't know the names of these. They have shitty names on AliExpress that don't make any sense. I know this kind of looks like a Modest Works spinner. I don't even know for sure though, because honestly, I'm out of the Modest Works loop. I don't know them that well. I kind of just given up hope. But yeah, mechanical. This is actually a bearing from Key that I was trying. It's a Zirc ceramic. So the balls are Zirc in the spinner. If you guys know the bearings, like there's the little balls. So this one has Zirc and then ceramic ring. It's actually a really great bearing, but the only thing I'd say is that I don't know if ceramic is the best for mechanical because you're already getting feedback on feedback. So you're like doubling up on the sound. You can probably hear that. Again, if you know ceramics, it gives you that more of a actual sound, but it almost sounds like it's scraping, even though it's not really scraping, but it still stays smooth. So it sounds like there might be friction or something, right? But it's actually not, because this thing will still spin forever and it's super smooth. And whatever bearing I had in here before, which is just whatever came with it, it's much easier to spin and open now because the bearing is so smooth. So the bearing itself is super smooth. It's just that extra sound that gives you like it makes you question if it's smooth or not because it makes it sound, it's weird. But that's it without spinning, opening it. So you can just use this as a try and it still feels great, but you have to spin it purposely not hard. And then obviously, this thing has one of the best spins once it's open. It's really hard to explain. This one is probably one of the more difficult ones to open when it comes to like effort. And like I got lucky with finding the pink Zirc one because I have yet to see any other ones on the market other than this one. So I've seen black Zirc. You can definitely find black Zirc for this if you want. But yeah, color Zirc, I don't think there's anything. But if you find one, let me know because I'm curious. I'm definitely curious to see how another material would feel when it comes to like weight. There's stainless steel, obviously. But yeah, this thing kicks ass. Yeah. Not much to say. You got to get used to this one. Took a bit of effort to get used to. I was struggling at the start. And as I've mentioned many times before, a lot of the mechanicals all have this trit. So as you pop it open, you get like the color circle. So it looks pretty sick if you're into trits. If you're into trit trim stuff, I pretty much, if you don't already have a mechanical spinner, then you're missing out. This is called the Rock Priest or Cross. Again, AliExpress names. This one has white titanium bars, so you don't always have to buy trits. There's also glow bars, which means it uses UV or glow in the dark, and then these ones are just white metal. But it still adds an effect, as you can see. It's not as intense, but that's still that cool effect. But this is one of the best ones if you have trits, because you get one circle in the middle because of this and this. There's a guy on the market selling one of these right now with trits. I think it's Luvius. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but he's one of the OGs in the group. Like he's been around for a while and he's got nice collection. And I almost bought his off of him actually. But yeah, so if you're into this, I have mine up for sale, I think. But I'm super undecided with this because it's like the only con with this to me is the volume. It has the, out of all these 100%, it has the loudest opening and closing. Like it's, again, I mentioned in another video that I fidget all the time and my wife usually doesn't care. But then there's some that she goes, yo, shut the hell up. And this is one of those ones where if she's in the other room and I'm going spamming this, like this might pop, if you're wearing headphones on this, it might pop your, like if I have my noise canceling headphones on and I do this, I can hear like pop. It kind of peaks the sound. Yeah. But other than that, this thing is awesome. Is there a way to tune this to make it quieter? If anyone knows, please tell me. Because then that would pretty much make this one of the best ones. It actually feels so nice. And like you can see when I spin it fast, like it is butter. It is sick. Yeah. Yeah, my ears are hurting from this. This is the Discus. This thing is so smooth. This is such an underrated fidget, I think, because this is up there with one being the easiest to pop out. The only thing with this that's a negative is the weight. This thing is heavy. Like, it almost weighs the same as this giant stainless steel one, and this is titanium. And I know you can get an SS version of this, and I can't even, that'd be way too heavy. I've seen a few people sell the SS version just straight up being like, I can't use this, it's too heavy. Which I'm like, that makes sense. Because this thing is already a beast. I've mentioned this before, there's balls in here. And it's strange, when you spin with the balls on top, you don't get any spin. And the middle doesn't spin, unless I spin it. But if I spin on the back, you'll see that the middle will spin with the balls, and you get the rattle. But as I mentioned here, if you go like this, so you got no balls, then the balls will start spinning, and you can switch back. So it's a cool effect of like, as you mess with it, just bringing it close so you can hear, guys. Sorry about that. Probably losing focus. But when it's like this, it's insane smooth, and this thing spins forever. Then you flip. Yeah, this thing is so good. I've almost gotten a Zirc one. I've seen a purple TI, and I guess someone anodized their TI, so they made it like all colorful. I've seen one of those, so it looks sick. But yeah, highly recommend. Now, this is probably the best one. This is also an interesting one in the sense that this one's considered a tuning fork almost. As you can see, there's those gaps. You can even see just doing this. I get that note, or anyone know what note this is? So you get a tuning fork, but spin-wise, this thing is insane. It's light enough. So it's SS, but the bronze, what do I call them again? Flaps are heavy as heck, so they come out instantly. When you feel the spinner, you can feel that all the weight's on the outside. So as you spin it, they immediately pop out, and it spins friggin' fast. And this thing spins forever. But yeah, this thing is really nice. It's just one of those ones where it's definitely not as loud as this, but it can annoy your ears a bit after a while, just because of the tuning fork. So there's probably a way to deal with that. Yeah, this thing kicks ass. Strangely enough, if you spin it on the back, the leaves won't open. I don't even understand the mechanism of why that doesn't work. I really don't know, because when I look at this, I don't really understand. It's just a pole and magnets. But they did something where, like, you do this, you don't have to use the, what's it called? The mechanical spinner. So essentially, it isn't, if you turn it vertical to a certain angle, then you'll get them to come out. But yeah, you can basically use it as a try. But I honestly like it more as a mechanical. And the way the spinner is, I like doing this spin with it. It's super easy to just grab the top of the triangle and boom. Yeah. This thing kicks ass. If I had to choose out of all the TQs, it's definitely these two. It's tough. These are all kick ass. If this, I'm just telling you, if the volume on this was lower, you'd have a winner. I probably could put a new bearing in here too. It's not bad, but I have a stock bearing, so you could just upgrade this, right? You could just make it better. But yeah, that's it without the, whoa, that looks weird as heck. That looks so weird on the camera. That's without the mechanical popping. It kind of changes shape. That looks weird. Yeah. Rambling. Okay. My solo Lark EDC. This is the Cerberus. So this is top. I'll do a top 4. And to be honest, the top 4 are the last 4. This thing is heavy. Not nearly as heavy as this, but you can say it's still pretty big. It's heavy, but spins like so crazily smooth. Lark is, if you guys don't know Lark EDC, they're a pretty premium brand in China. Like, it's not a good comparison because I don't know for sure, but it's like considered something like, you know, you guys think of like the thick spinners, Chelsea M3, like that, like higher end of spinner. That's more premium American made. This is like that in China. These guys make the fancy shit. There's a lot of other Lark spinners I really want, but they're really expensive. Even in my so-called China market thing that I use, I still can't afford them. Like, they're expensive. Like, and if you want any kind of fancy material, like this is stainless steel. I wish I could have this in TI and Zirc just to try the weight difference. This, yeah, but you can see this uses some crazy mechanisms where there's like these two. Dude, I don't even understand how this thing works. This thing is weird, but it's so smooth. It actually doesn't have too much noise. And I really like the sound of the pop. It's instead of like that loud metally sound, it's more of like that latch. I don't know if that makes sense, but, and if you can hear it very well. But this thing spins insane. Yeah, out of the tries, it's a tough one with the squid. I know I mentioned the squid in my other videos, but it's really, really grown on me. Okay. Now for the, you know, the ones I simp for the most, pretty much. The CCEDC something, I don't know the actual name of the spinner. Even though it's one of my favorites, I don't even know the real name. Again, because of the translations. So Superconductor, this is a quad. Again, if you see my other videos, you've probably already seen these enough, or you don't even care anymore. At least this will be shorter. That's good. Yeah, it's not much to say. Quads are super stable in most cases, unless something's effed up. Yeah, I think I like the Superconductor the best. I think I mentioned that I swapped the bearing for a UQH bearing. I forget the name of the exact bearing I put in. But I think that made it the best, because then it's slightly heavier, so it spins fast. But it's like, if that's a 9 out of 10, this is 8. It's like, the thing with the Zirc one is it just takes more effort to spin. And it's strange because it's lighter. So like it rips almost more, but you can tell because of the weight. As I've mentioned so many times, it's about the weight ratio of the flaps and how easy they pop out. But one thing with Zirc is this thing looks so sick. I like how it's like a lighter blue and then a darker blue. I don't know if that's a normal thing or they did that on purpose, or it's just like every Zirc one comes out different based on like how they treat it. But obviously if I didn't have the Superconductor with the new bearing, this would still be the best. Yeah, it's amazing. Not much to say. And then Zirc, this is what started the mechanical spinner chaos. It's really hard to explain, but there's part of me that still thinks this Zirc spins the best out of all of them. I don't know what bearing this got put in here, but this thing is the most smooth. Like, it's just butter. It's the most smooth spin out of all of them. But it takes a bit more effort to get it to open than either of them. It's not a lot, but it's still... Like, I put this up for sale because I'm like, okay, I do not need 3. But there's also part of me that's like, this is one of my favorites that I'm like, okay, you know, get the full collection. I don't have... There's still stainless steel I don't have. And then there's a stainless steel collaboration with... what's it called? So Young, who does, let me see. They do this. They work with this guy. And he did like a carving for it, and it looks sick. But the resale on that, I think there's only 100 made or something like that. And they obviously got bought in like 2 seconds, and the resale is like insane. And yeah, I'm not paying like $350 for it, stainless steel with carving. But it looks sick. So if that ever drops in price, I will probably grab that. That's the dream. Or maybe one day I just say F it for the collection and just, you know, do a completionist kind of thing and go for it. But I'll have to save some money for that. Okay. Last but not least. Should have done this first because, you know, this thing weighs like 150 pounds. This thing has grown on me. This thing kicks ass. Even though this thing weighs like a bajillion pounds, yeah, it's freaking sick. I do think that if you ever get this, go for Zirc or TI. I don't know if TI will be too light, but I can imagine Zirc being like the perfect, because it's going to be lighter than this, but still have a nice weight. Fun facts, I did drop this once, and there's no dent from it, which is, thank God, but it took it like a champ. That's one thing, is be careful. It's so heavy that if you make a mistake, it's gone. Like, and this thing will literally spin for infinity because of the weight of the outside parts. It just like, the physics is just gonna go forever. Like, it's not even gonna slow down. And like it looks sick. And you can see this is how the flaps, so there's like, this opens. I mentioned before that's better to stop it by pressing up versus sticking your finger in, because you can get caught in a flap like that. But this one is so heavy that the spin takes little, like it's almost like on this level of like, you don't have to put much effort at all to get it open. Like I'm not even, like it's near the same level as that. It's just the fact that there's so much weight that you have to hold up with your hand. So I think I was looking for buttons for this, but I don't think I can, because I think this button is not a normal button. Like it's friggin' massive. So it's like not like I can go out and get a button. And yeah, from what I understand, I can't really buy a squid button for this, because I'd be like, oh, let me get a TI button. So let me just drop that weight, but keep the outside SS. I think that would be amazing. If anyone knows about that, we can see. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to try. But I'm honestly very happy with this. I thought about selling it in my first video. I'm like, oh my god, so heavy. No, I'm definitely keeping this. I've had other people tell me that their Zirc one is like a grail spinner. Like they're like, I will never sell this. And honestly, I get that. If this was just slightly lighter, so it's just the work I have to do on this finger or my middle finger. That's all everything else about it is perfect. Yeah, this thing kicks ass. It's grown on me like so much. I've used it a lot. And if you know me in my recent video, I think this is the winner. This thing is insane. This is new EDC detonate spinner. It's kind of weird because the mechanism almost works like this thing. So you can see I almost get the... You can use it as a ratchet coin, but you block some of the... But anyways, it has like a weird magnetic vibration. Sorry, my cats. That makes it pop out. So it's not like... It feels magnetic. It's hard to explain. Instead of like it being pure centrifuge that makes it pop out and come back in slowly, it's like it feels magnetic. So when you get it to stop sometimes, you can actually feel the magnets like, yeah, there, see? So it's actually the magnets pulling it in. So if you get the right, you get this like weird magnetic feel. It's hard to explain. My hands are getting sweaty. I don't want to drop it. But yeah, this thing is awesome. This has definitely moved through the ranks very fast. I definitely do not regret getting this. It was pretty expensive because the purple Zirc, and it's a VIP edition. There's a lot of material, so there's TI. I've seen some really cool anodized TI versions of like lightning bolts and shit. It looks really nice. There's stainless steel and a few VIP stainless steel ones that have like mother of pearl. So all these things are filled with that mother of pearl stuff. And then there's also one that has like all these different color inlays. There's like brass and copper in the design, and they look really sick. And those are also VIP. But there's also plain SS, plain Zirc, and black. Plain Zirc and black I would recommend, because then it'll be the same weight as this. And I haven't used any of the other ones, but I can confirm that the Zirc weight is almost like perfect. As I mentioned in some of the other ones, sometimes the weight, if you go lighter, you think it's going to be better, but it actually makes it spin worse. But this is actually the perfect middle ground, where I think SS would be too heavy, TI probably too light, and Zirc is just perfect. So you get that middle weight. But I know some people that are like SS for sure only for spinners, because it's like it spins, it's heavier. But yeah, if I had to rank, it's tight. I can say for sure that the top 4 are these 4 at the bottom. This is really growing on me. This is peeking in at number 1. It's getting close, but I still think it's this. The only thing with this is this one, after a while, maybe it's just the texture or the edges of this, but if you use it for a long time, similar to what I was saying with this, you might get, not blisters, but you get that like, okay, your hands have experienced friction. And sometimes you can get caught right in between there, and it doesn't hurt or anything, but it just adds to the friction. But don't get me wrong, I think it's still number 1. So that's like the 9 out of 10, that's the 1 negative. I think this is actually reaching up to second now. I'm very, very, very interested in maybe getting a different material. I don't know if I can handle both because they're really expensive. So I might have to get the Zirc, try it, and then sell this because I think they're really expensive. Same with the Lark. They're one of those brands that's like actually outside of China is also popular, I guess. And they hold their value. In the used market in China, these things are still crazy expensive. They honestly, half of them, most of the time, they sell more than retail. So it's pretty intense. But yeah, that's all of them. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, see you.